Welcome, seekers of the wild, and welcome home to Faolán's path. We've crossed a new moon. We've moved through an eclipse. We've entered a lunar new year. And something ancient has shifted. The wood snake has shed its skin. But this episode isn't about the shedding alone. It's about what happens after. It's about how wood becomes fuel, how shed skin becomes kindling, how eclipse shadow becomes flame, how fire refines, and how in that refinement, the horse is finally free to fly. This is not about three myths woven together, and I want to say something clearly. If you are finding this episode on release day, beautiful. If you're finding it a month, a year from now, also beautiful. There's no late here. Transformation does not operate on a calendar. Whenever this reaches you, that is the right moment. Because ignition is not about astrology alone. It's about readiness. This is one continuous transformation. In the elemental cosmology woven through the Chinese zodiac, wood represents growth. Roots pushing through soil, tendons stretching, vision forming, direction gathering. Wood energy wants upward motion. But growth under pressure doesn't feel graceful. When wood is blocked, it tightens. It coils. It stores frustration, and especially in the liver in traditional Chinese medicine, that is the organ associated with planning and direction. The snake carries that wood energy inward. The wood snake transforms quietly. It grows in the dark. It sheds in solitude. It refines internally before anyone sees the change. If the last cycle felt introspective, dense, layered, emotionally complex, that wasn't stagnation. That was preparation. Wood gathers as fuel. And when the snake sheds its skin, that skin remains dry, light, ready, kindling. Shedding is friction. It stretches you beyond what fits. It asks you to release the version of yourself that survived, but no longer serves. Maybe you shed an identity, an expectation, a pattern of bracing, a story you told yourself about who you had to be. But nothing in nature is wasted. The old skin does not just disappear. It becomes fuel. Wood feeds fire. The friction of shedding prepares ignition. Now, we need to talk about the eclipse. Eclipses are not gentle. They are shadow-crossing light. And when you're not ready to see what lives in your shadows, an eclipse can feel chaotic. It can feel disruptive. There's exposure, destabilization. But here is the deeper truth. The chaos is not the eclipse. The chaos is resistance. Eclipses do not create problems. They reveal what has already grown in the dark. They highlight where old skin is still clinging. They illuminate the places where you said, I'm fine, but you really weren't. And when light hits shadow suddenly, yes, it shakes you. But destabilization is not destruction. It is transformation accelerating. If the last few weeks felt chaotic, it may not be because everything is falling apart. It may be because something false is falling away. And if this episode finds you during your own personal eclipse, during a season of chaos or exposure, know that timing is not coincidence. You are not behind the cycle, you are inside of it. The wood snake sheds. The eclipse exposed what remained stuck. Now we stand at ignition. Fire is not random destruction. It refines. It separates what is essential from what is excessive. It turns wood into warmth, kindling into light, fuel into energy. But fire requires breath. Without breath, it suffocates. With too much force, it rages. This year is not asking you to burn your life down. It's asking you to let your life illuminate. In traditional Chinese medicine, fire governs the heart, the seat of spirit, Shen. There is survival fire, that is tight jaw, shallow breathing, urgency. And then there is sacred fire, warm chest, steady breath, open expression. One burns you out, the other lights you up. Feel into your body. Which one have you been living in? The shed skin becomes fuel. The fuel feeds the fire. The fire refines the form. And from that refinement, something powerful emerges. The horse, strong, grounded, embodied, not frantic, not panicked, clarified. And when breath stabilizes the flame, when the fire burns clean, the horse is no longer weighed down. And when no longer weighed down, it lifts. This is Pegasus, not as fantasy, but as freedom earned. The phoenix momentum is the combustion, the turning of old form to ash. But the horse is what rises, not separate from the flame, born of it. Renewal is not escape, it is alignment. Now, let's place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Inhale slowly. Feel your ribs expand. Exhale. Imagine old skin turning to ash behind you. Inhale again. Feel warmth, not panic. Exhale. Feel your spine lengthen. If discomfort rises, stay present. The fire does not punish, it purifies. You are not being chased. You are not late. You are not behind. The fire is within you, and it is clean. So let's go into a guided visualization. Let's close your eyes. Imagine yourself standing in a twilight clearing. Behind you lie remnants of old skin, not grotesque, not shameful, just simply outdated. You kneel and gather them gently. You build a small circle of kindling. You take breath. With intention, not anger, you light the edge. The flame flickers, small, contained. You feel a moment of discomfort, a moment of resistance, but you breathe through it. The fire grows steady. The old skin curls inward, turning to ash. And you do not look away, you stay. And that chaos passes, and clarity remains. As the last fragment dissolves, you feel lighter. Your hips loosen, your shoulders soften, your breath deepens. You stand taller. Warmth gathers in your chest. Not overwhelming, steady. You take a step forward, then another. Movement feels natural. Your spine lengthens. Something shifts behind you. Wings unfold. Not sudden, not dramatic, but aligned. You are still grounded, your feet pressed into the earth. But nothing is weighing you down. You move forward, strong, embodied, rising. Your fire is clean. Your momentum is chosen. You are not escaping. You are becoming. Take one final breath and gently open your eyes. So now I want you to ask yourself, what has already burned that I'm still mentally carrying? What have I mistaken bracing for strength? What would momentum feel like if it were joyful? Ignition is not chaos. It is clarity after friction. The wood snake gathered growth. Shedding created fuel. The eclipse exposed what remained. The fire refined. And from that refinement, the